As you probably saw and or witnessing right now, first-time starter, one of two in this opening maiden race, almost fled the scene for Ritter and Becker. Seems to be A-OK now, and so does Alex Bendezu. We have 3-year-old fillies, 3- and 4-year-old fillies all at it here in a maiden $15,000 claiming race. They're sprinting 6 furlongs. You have early daily double, early pick 3, trifectas, superfectas, exactas, win, play, show wagering, and the 50-cent pick 5. Post time for race 1 is in 7 minutes. I do have an announcement. I need to get it done now, and I will mention it a couple more times. It's a little bit of an equipment change in race number 6 later on. So if you get to the 6th race, attention to the 1 Merry Moonglow. Left front will be donned with a bar shoe. Bar shoe will be worn on her left front. So I'll announce that a couple more times. Other than that, a pretty clean program as far as changes go. Anything else pops up, I'll let you know. Favorites are winning right at 40% now. 103 out of 256 so far this year. 3- and 4-year-old fillies will be headed to the starting gate in just 4 minutes. There you have Peter Lurie's 50-cent pick 5 play. 1 minute. The Phillies are approaching the starting gate. They're loading in for race 1, so get those 50-cent Pick 5 tickets all sent in. Loading in with Watch the Wind Blow By. Odds-on favorite right now is number 1, Rising Creek. Our Juju. Thanks to my food from Long Shots down there by the 16th pole. Wonderful place. We have one more left to load. Bourbon Americana is up. And Elsie's Legacy. They're in the gate. Flag is up. And they're off. Good start on the outside for Bourbon Americana, and also in between is Dublin Drop getting loose. Here comes Rising Creek to challenge and goes right through the inside and takes over command from Dublin Drop, who'll be second. Third and looking well is Bourbon Americana. Fourth is WW Cash on debut. The other debutee, True Effect, is gaining on the far outside. Elsie's Legacy following the outside flow, and last is our Juju. About 9 lengths would cover the lot here. Around the turn they go in the opener. Very good opening quarter mile as well. Past the 3/8 onto the 550. Rising Creek has taken over by 3/4 from Dublin Drop on the board at 13-1. We have 2 vying for third and fourth. True Effect, and then Bourbon Americana has to make up 5 lengths. They're into the stretch. Past the 330-yard mark. Rising Creek cuts the corner very wisely. It's still Dublin Drop in second. It means business. Out of the breach comes our Juju from last, who's gaining up ever so slightly. Rising Creek, our Juju. Rising Creek almost jumped the rail, and that gives the win to our Juju. Our Juju wins. Rising Creek was second. Photo third and fourth. Probably Dublin Drop. Our Juju, 13-1. Three, 1, and a photo that will go to number 6, Dublin Drop. 3-1, 6, and 2 unofficially. The stewards are looking at the actions, obviously, of number 1, Rising Creek, right at the 70-yard mark. they'll take down the inquiry here pretty quick. It looked like the one just got caught looking at herself on the Jumbotron before the wire, so they've taken off the inquiry, so we will go official with this pretty quick. 3, 1, 6, and 2. Congratulations to part owner and trainer Tammy Hornsby. Arkansas bred by part owner Laura Jules. A daughter of Gormley, a 3-year-old daughter of Gormley by the big brown mare Rita Ann. Ridden to victory by Corey Orm. The winning time for 6 furlongs, 1:13 and 3, 1:13.63 seconds. Our Juju paid $28 to win, $5.20 to place, $4.40 to show. Rising Creek, $2.20 to place, $2.10 to show. And the 6, Dublin drop, $4.60 to show. 10-cent superfecta, $185.82. You're welcome. The trifecta, even better, $226.45. The dollar exacta, $51.70. All 8 ran in race number 1. In the second race, we sprint 110 yards shorter. 5 1/2 furlongs, $5,000 the claiming price. Non-winners of 3. 1 pound over on the 4, 1 pound over on the 7. Field of 9 coming up next in 20 minutes.
Welcome back, everybody. 15 minutes to post race 2, especially for those of you watching us now on YouTube. That was an interesting first race. Glad to see that Rising Creek, nothing happened to horse or rider, but that's definitely, I mentioned that first race and now a second race, having some trouble. I think obviously there's going to be some back to the drawing board as far as it's concerned. Also, I think the 2-horse makes a lot of sense in this situation. WW Cash, but did not get a great start. Horses are down in the paddock. Let's take a closer look. As far as the race is concerned, field of 9 going postward. Interesting race indeed. Not really sure taking a stand against the favorite. I just think the horse makes a lot of sense in this particular situation. That is the aforementioned 4-horse, Grace Met Cupid. Brody Martinez aboard for his pop, Ralph Martinez. They won and won for fun last time out in a non-winners of 2, so they're taking the logical step forward. This horse has got speed. Now, granted, there is a lot of speed in this race. So we'll see what kind of a race rider Brody is. Brody is proving he's a pretty good hand. And he doesn't panic, which I really like. But as you can see, Ralph right now also is the groom. Just guessing here, but that means to me that this horse has probably got some quirks. And Ralph just wants to keep him nice and relaxed, get him tacked up. I'll be interested to see if he's one of those types you have to tack on the walk. Move our attention over to the 7, Chi-Town Prince. Johannes Angeren aboard for the Eduardo Rodriguez barn. This is another one that's got speed, and they got the advantage because they draw the outside of what I think is potentially 3 speed horses. Now, this horse gave up an easy lead last time out, going 5.5 in a 10,000 non-winners of 3. I know monetarily it's a drop in class, and it is a drop, but it's still a non-winners of 3. 0 for 3 at the distance, 2 seconds and a third. Can they win? Absolutely they can. Do I think they're going to have their A game? Pretty much. Horse looks nice and relaxed, though, so that's a good sign. Move to the horse just on the outside of them, and that is the 8-horse, Truist. Truist for John Wainwright. Wainwright's barn definitely getting the job done, and they've been winning those races that I say, how did they do that? It's good horseman, John Wainwright. Morgan family are the owners and breeders. 7-year-old son of Temple City. Doesn't win a lot of races. 2 for 49. Likes to come in second a lot. 14 seconds, 6 thirds. Just under $103,000 in earnings. Is a 1 for 10 in the winner's circle at the distance. 5 of the 10 have hit the board. Brisnet speed number wise, I don't know if this horse can win, but I definitely think is a horse that maybe you consider for the multi-race exotics. Rounding out the top 4 for yours truly is the 9 Quality Storm for J&N Thoroughbreds. Jose Rodriguez, the conditioner. A 1 for 9 in the distance of 5.5. 5 for 9 hitting the board. This horse also has some speed. Although when they have shown speed, they haven't finished well. So I almost feel like with the outside post going 5.5, you don't have a lot of time for to get to that first turn. But maybe this is a horse that you try not on the lead, but just behind the leaders. And see when they get to the top of the stretch and straighten out, you can just make one big run. Might be a way to go. I mean, if you go down to that July 27th of last year at Hawthorne, granted it was 6 furlongs, but they sat about 3 lengths off the early pace. And at the top of the stretch made a big move and they won. So I think this is an interesting horse, maybe worth taking a swing, change in tactics, as it were. But yeah, it's not an easy race to look at. Horse looks nice and relaxed, getting tacked up fairly easily. All right, so 479 is how I'm seeing this race. Grace Met Cupid, 6-5 favorite. I don't like those low odds, but you know what? It makes sense. Brody, Here's to another winner for you and your pop. Horse is about to come out on the track. 10 minutes to post. Race number 2. Start of a $1 pick 4. Good luck.
Number 4, Grace Met Cupid, excused himself of apprentice rider Brody Martinez just for a couple of seconds. Back aboard as they come on out for the post parade of race number 2. Traveling 5 1/2 furlongs, $5,000 non-winners at 3. Coming up, only changes £1 over on the 4, £1 over on the 7. Post time for the field of 9, 7 minutes away. Hey, you want to watch live on the YouTube? There you go. Fairmount Park Racing. Click live and voila, there you are. YouTube, us together. That means fun for you. No doubt about it. I've just gotten word that number 6 Frosted Warrior, the ultimate equipment change applies. He is now a gelding. Frosted Warrior number 6, reporting for the first time as a gelding. Three minutes. The early dollar pick 4 starts in 3 minutes. They're doing the slow walk to the 5.5 furlong starting gate position. You still have 1 minute for all bets. Moving in first, Grace met Cupid. After my brother steps up, Cravensworth. Stunning Bruno. El Jefe Cop. Frosted Warrior. Chi-Town Prince. Hey, it's going to be College Day next Saturday. I'll tell you more about that as the day progresses. Truist moves in. Quality Storm. They're in the gate. And they're off. Good start towards the outside for Quality Storm and Truist. Here comes a Vanguard featuring Grace Met Cupid in the firing line. Keen to go on is Chi-Town Prince. Also up there in the top three is Stunning Bruno. Back in fourth and fifth simultaneously are Truist and Quality Storm running as a team. Inside After My Brother has 5.5 to make up, swoops underneath Frosted Warrior, and then back we have Nothing from Stunning Bruno, he said, and far back to Cravensworth, who likes to make up ground late in the race anyways. Top two wagering choices are in the exactas. They approach the quarter pole. On the rail, Grace Met Cupid poised to pounce as Chi-Town Prince. Truist is running third and is passed by the rail running Stunning Bruno. Going wide there, Grace Met Cupid carried out Chi-Town Prince down the center of the course. A quick right tap by the Bug Girl. Chi-Town Prince has dispensed with the early front runner, and here she comes, Chi-Town Prince. Guided home by Johanna Sarangarin to win by 3.5. Grace Met Cupid for the place. We'll have a show and fourth place photo featuring Cravensworth, who might have nabbed Truist at the wire. Eight to 5, second choice behind the favorite Grace Met Cupid. 7-4 photo. 2 and 8 for third and fourth. Two, Cravensworth. Third, 8, Truist, fourth. Into the winner's circle steps number 7, Chi-Town Prince and jockey Johannes Aranguren, owned by Ishmael Thoroughbreds LLC. Eduardo Rodriguez at the helm in the barn. Chi-Town Prince is a 3-year-old chestnut son of American Freedom out of the uncaptured mare, Princess Eulalie. The winning time, 5 1/2 furlongs, a minute 6 flat, a minute 6.13 seconds. All 9 ran in today's second race. $5, 220, 220 across on your winner. The exacta a chalky result, $4 and a dime. Trifecta, $20.65. The early double, 3 with 7. Yikes, $120.80. 10-cent superfecta, $22 and change. Moving on to race number 3. A 3/4-mile sprint, $15,000 claimers, fillies and mares. Non-winners of 2 with a field of 7. 1 pound over on the 5, Sweet Skylar. Post time for the third race is in 19 minutes.
15 minutes to post, race number 3, and welcome back everybody as we're looking at a field going 6 furlongs. These are non-winners of 2 lifetime, and it's also start of a $1 pick 3. Field of 7 going postward. We have an even money favorite. Let's take a look at the runners. Field coming by the 5-2, now 3-1 second choice. I'll take a swing here with Sweet Skylar for trainer Scott Becker. They're adding the blinkers for this 3-year-old daughter of Cloud Computing, who had run 3 really nice races. And then they decided to head over to Prairie Meadows for one. And you know what? That track, either you like it or you don't. And apparently this horse didn't want any part of that track. Like I said, they've added the blinkers. Victor Santiago remains aboard. He's been aboard for all 3 of the Fairmount Park efforts and really hasn't put in a bad race yet. They've got speed. I think they are the controlling speed, as the one-horse Prairie Brat probably will go with them and looking mighty fine. But I think they draw the outside, which will, I believe, be a total advantage. Horse looks good coming over right now. Coming over with the blinkers. That doesn't bother me again. If it's a first-time starter, it doesn't bother me, but it's a concern when they have to come over with blinkers. But a horse that's already been running, as you can tell, they're already on tilt. So this is just to try to keep them from completely losing their minds. And I think Sweet Skylar makes a lot of sense here. $1,000 purchase at Fasig-Tipton for the Ritter-Becker combo. They did not breed this Kentucky bred. And I'm expecting a nice little turnaround from what we just saw. 4-horse in front of you is looking mighty fine. That's the current 8-5 favorite for Jimmy Watkins. 3-year-old daughter of Stanford, who's a Malibu Moon grandsire. Julio Felix aboard. Horse was a debut winner in June of 25 at Lone Star. Tried a stake race. That didn't exactly work out for them. Then Asmussen put this horse about 4 races down in for a claiming tag of 12-5 and was taken that day by a trainer by the name of Cody Rosen. And subsequently is now in the tutelage of Jimmy Watkins. Watkins himself 24% in claiming in general. Sprints 21%. These are all based on 396 and 585 in the sample. And then dirt starts at 23% with 605. So horse makes a lot of sense, and I will not be surprised if they win this race. Looks nice and relaxed here for Watkins. He's got himself a fairly busy afternoon. I think Santiago will probably try to make the lead with this one. We'll just see if he can clear. I'm just not sure that's what this horse truly wants to do. But we'll see. 0 for 5 at the distance with 3 seconds to speak of. So, can he win? Yes. Did I put somebody else on top? Yes. Take ourselves to the rail trip, and that's Prairie Brat. This is, now get this, this is a Kansas bred. You don't see a lot of these around. Has been racing on the Oklahoma circuit at Will Rogers Down and Fair Meadows, Tulsa. Used to be in the Juan Padilla barn. Moved over to George Blatchford, who's looking for his first winner of the meet. 2 winners from 49 starts so far this year. Only tried the distance once and did not hit the board. This horse has been really sprinting, like 4 furlong races, 5.5. And the one time they tried a 6 furlongs race, it wasn't bad. They showed speed and they just got a little tired. So I don't think the distance is going to be a problem. Angel Stanley with that rail trip, I think his hand is kind of forced. I think he's got to go. And I'm expecting that type of a start for this one. As far as rounding out the group, right next to them is the 2 Tiz Swifties Music for Max Quinones. Comes off the win for Maiden 15. And now is coming in for a 15 non-winners of 2. I think it might be a tad tall an order for this one. But they've already proven to like the track. The extra distance, I'm not sure it's going to hurt them. But as far as their distance in the Brisnet Speed Index, it's not even close. 6-1 currently. Horse looks good. With Tis Now and Distorted Humor on the grandsire and the sire of the dam side, I would not be surprised if they decide next time out to try a little distance. Horse definitely looks like a two-turn type of horse. So we'll see how that one plays itself out. $1 pick three, the rolling pick three in effect. Double, exacta, try, and superfecta. Wagering 5-4-1-2. How I'm going to see it. Going to try to take a stand against the favorite, Sweet Skylar. Hopefully to the winner's circle. Good luck.
We had our first breakthrough of the day, of the meet. From now on, add 2 more pounds to Johanna Sarangarin's weight. She's won so many races, she is now a 5-pound apprentice, no longer a 7-pound apprentice. She's now a 5-pound apprentice. So just go through wherever she is in the program. So again, Johanna Sarangarin is now a 5-pound apprentice. Coming up, our third live race of the day. Field of 7. 15,000 claimers that have never won 2. This is open to fillies and mares 3 years of age and up. We're sprinting 3/4 of a mile. Rolling daily doubles, rolling dollar pick threes. You have exactas, trifectas, 10-cent superfectas, win, place, show wagering available to you. Here are your changes as far as the new 5-pound apprentice weights go. Ms. Orangaren in the 4th race, number 3, Twirling Roses, make the weight 121. In race 5, number 4, Good to Be Prince, make the weight 119. In the 6th race, make the 2, No Pay No Hay, make the weight 121. 7th race, number 8, Illini Red, make the weight 113 plus 1. And she was scratched out of the 8th race on the 2. So that's the update. And we will have a test later on when or if Victor Lara wins as well. So good news for apprentice riders at this track. All kinds of victories to them. You have just under 5 minutes for all wagers in race 3. In our previous race, race number 2, the winner, Chi-Town Prince, was claimed. New trainer, Jose Rodriguez. New trainer, Henry Cortez Adame. The horses are on approach to the starting gate for the running of race 3. Final wagers. Field loading in. Show Domina the 7, the full brother, will be running on debut on Tuesday in the 2-year-old race. Show Dominic. Looking mighty fine. Standing well there, Sweet Skylar. Presley's Volley. Fear the Queen. Fear the Queen stepped back away. Waiting on the 7, Show Domina. There she goes, right in. Flag is up, all set for the 3rd. Not anymore. Fear the Queen has sat down in the starting gates. We'll have a delay here. Number 3 is going to be backed out. She has a history of doing things like that, and we'll have an announcement coming up. In race number 3, scratch. Number 3, Fear the Queen. 3 has been scratched, a gate scratch, anytime they act up the way that she did. The veterinarians pretty much are an automatic on that nationwide now. The 3 is out. Gate scratch, you'll be able to get refunds on all wagers involving the 3. So you don't have to get right to the windows unless you want to change a rolling pick 3. We're rolling double. If you have a pick 3, you'll receive the race time favorite. If you have the 3 in any of your race 2 and 3 daily doubles, you'll receive a consolation payment with the late scratch of number 3, Fear the Queen. Try to get you news on the rider, Victor Lara. He was just catapulted back like he hit a. There he is in the pink right behind the tractor. He seems to be no worse for the wear, so good job by Victor. Again, 3 a late scratch. We'll be loading back in momentarily. Judges have given me the order that they will be back aboard in less than 2 minutes. Fairmount Park Casino and Racing is proud to host the annual College Scholarship Day coming up next Saturday on the 15th. As part of the day's festivities, we will be awarding 2 $1,000 scholarships, 2 Apple AirPod prize packages, 2 MacBook Air laptops, 1 Longshots Bar and Grill gift card with a Fairmount Park swag bag, and 1 exclusive day at the races experience, including a grandstand box seating, trophy race presentation, paddock tour, $50 Longshots Bar and Grill gift certificate. So, you know, some college kids, you might have some lounging around. I know it's get back to school week. Got to do that in the morning. Always fun to move at 7 o'clock a.m. So make sure you join us on the 15th coming up for College Day here at Fairmount Park Casino and Racing. Loading back up for the third. Presley's volley and then show Domina. Presley's volley packed in there by the gate crew. Show Domina last one in with the scratch of the 3. Here is race 3. And they're off. Clean getaways for all. There's Presley's volley first out of the gate. Sweet Skylar's going to be positioned right where she likes, but there goes Prairie Brat. Prairie Brat, Sweet Skylar, and in third is Presley's volley early. It's Show Domina who's emerging from the far back pack up into fourth. Fifth is Looking Mighty Fine and on the move. 'Tis Swifty's Music is last away, 6 lengths in back of the dueling frontrunners. Prairie Brat and Sweet Skylar are their names. First and second around the turn towards the 550 they go. Presley's volley is settled back in third. Fourth, going nowhere fast, is Show Domina. Really good move for Lookin' Mighty Fine, who's doing just that, patiently handled along the rail. Last horse, and now moving on up, is 'Tis Swifty's Music along the fence. They all have to catch Sweet Skylar. Lookin' Mighty Fine is looking really fine. On the grandstand side, Presley's Volley. Sweet Skylar has bolted clear. Lookin' Mighty Fine has the number. Lookin' Mighty Fine over and out. Even money to win by about length and 3/4 from Sweet Skylar in second. Back in third was Presley's Volley, and closing on in from last to fourth was 'Tis Swifty's Music. First win this year for number 4, Lookin' Mighty Fine. 3-year-old daughter of Stanford, a fine university, out of the Medaglia d'Oro mare. Take another look. Bred in Kentucky by Tommytown Thoroughbreds, owned by Let's Roll With It, LLC, Paul Schrayer, Jeremy Brower, and Sarah Duffy. Hey, I know those people. Lookin' Mighty Fine's pilot was Julio Felix. Congratulations to the winning connections. 6 furlongs fell in a minute, 13 3/5 of a second, 113.63. The 3 was a gate scratch. The exacta for $1, $3.40. Trifecta, $28.55. Consolation double, 7 with the scratched 3, $1.80. The double, $4.10 for the 7 and 4. Superfecta, $15.15. The early pick 3, $118.10. In the upcoming 4th race, scratch both number 1 Via del Corso and the 2 Spanish Doubloon. 1 and 2 are scratched from today's 4th race. Adjust the weight for the 3 Twirling Roses and Johanna Sarangarin to 121 pounds. Post time for the upcoming 4th race is in 19 minutes.
14 minutes to post for race number 4. Welcome back, everyone. The 5.5 furlongs event. 2 scratches in the race. The one Via del Corso and the 2 Spanish de Bloom. Both will not go, bringing us down now to a field of 7. Previous race, congratulations out to Jimmy Watkins with the victory. Well deserved there in the third race with Looking Mighty Fine, who definitely was. Horses down in the paddock. Let's take a closer look to kick off the $1 pick 3. Horses coming over. I believe Keith and I are both on top of the same horse. That would be the 3 Twirlin' Roses. Second time since coming over by Hawthorne and Fairgrounds for Eduardo Rodriguez. Now, this is an interesting reason why I like this horse today. And unfortunately, with the 2 scratches in the race, really getting hit hard. This horse is now the 3-2 favorite. I was hoping for a little price, but not today. This 8-year-old Twirling Candy went through a fair amount of claims recently. In fact, 4 of the last 7 races changed hands. The last time this horse was in the Eduardo Rodriguez barn was when he was claimed out of a fairgrounds race back in February. So I kind of like that move. I think it's very positive. It's usually an indication that the trainer tends to say, you know what, I know what he or she has. I know what their little picadillos are, and I can deal with them. So the fact that he takes this horse back, I do like. Should be in a good position here. In fact, this is the 3rd time he has taken this horse back. Did want to mention that. Doesn't have any speed, so the fact that they now inherit the rail trip doesn't really concern me. The 2 horses that got taken out were speeds. So now you've got Bernie Lomax, the 4, and the 7 Smart Joker, and probably the 9 Sunny Is Not So Funny as the most likely to get in a bit of a pace hookup. I think Twirlin' Roses makes a lot of sense here. Let's get to the 7 Smart Joker. Jimmy Watkins looking to go back-to-back on this one. He very well could. Trying to figure out what's up with this one. The wet fast track last time out maybe just wasn't to the liking. But now they're leaving starter company to go into an open 5. Those are usually tough races. But he gets the services of Alexander Bendesu. The horse has definitely got speed, draws the outside post. Is 4 for 4 at the distance hitting the board. If you believe in the Brisnet Speed Index numbers, and I do, one of the top ones in the race. And I think with the outside post kind of gives them a little bit of a leg up on the other speed in the race. Here's the one, though, you got the biggest question mark for me in the race, and that's the 9. Sunny Is Not So Funny. This is an American Freedom 7-year-old gelding. From a Hennessy mare, Never Quicker. 4 for 10 in the winner's circle at the distance, but is kind of a feast or famine with this one. They either do that or they're nowhere to be found. 12 for 54 lifetime, 3 of the 12 right here at Fairmount Park. My question, though, it's a big jump in class. They're going out of 4,000 non-winners of 2 in a year into an open 5,000. Now, they've been okay with the condition type claimers. But when you get into like a starter or something of that nature, it's a little different story. So we'll see how this plays out for Marvell Straub. He's having a great meet. He's hitting at 17%. And he gets the services of the hot hand of Victor Lara. Still one of only 2 7-pound apprentices. We did have 3. But as you heard from Keith Nelson earlier, Johannes Aringeren is now a 5-pound apprentice. That's what happens when you win a lot of races. Congratulations out, Johannes. Rounding out the top 4 for me, Bernie Lomax. Frank Reyes sends this one out. This is a 7-year-old Bernardini whose pop was AP Indy. And the Factor is the sire of the Dam Snowdust. So to me that says speed definitely. But I'm curious why they've never tried, or maybe at least recently tried, anything involving 2 turns. Maybe this horse is just not showing affinity for it. Last 2 races, kind of like seemed like they were regressing, but they're also going against much tougher. Now they're showing up in an open 5. That's a bit of a concern for me also, because going back to October of 2024, open company was okay. Since then, not so much. So we'll see how that one plays itself out. Horse sitting right there. Looks nice and relaxed, good looking gray. And we'll just happen to see. So 3794, how I'm seeing it. Unfortunately, 3-2. But at this point, we've had a bit of seconditis so far in the first 3 races. So we'll take what we can get. Horse is about to come out on the track. Good luck.
In the upcoming 4th race scratch, number 1 Via del Corso and number 2 Spanish Doubloon make the weight on the 3 Twirling Roses 121. As we congratulate Ms. Rengerin upon being a 5-pound apprentice. So we're down to a field of 7. Roll through another daily double for races 4 and 5. Same with a dollar pick 3 sequence, which gets you races 4, 5, and 6. You have exacta, trifecta, superfecta wagering, win, play, show in 6 minutes. 5.5 furlongs for the upcoming fourth race, just a couple minutes away. Open $5,000 claimers approaching the starting gate. Final wagers for race 4. They've reached the gate. Twirling Roses in Sand Mountain. Moving in with Bernie Lomax and Smart Joker. Coin purse. Verrazano first, and then Sunny is Not So Funny. The 9 backing up just a little bit. Gets some help. In he goes. All set. Flag is up. And they're off. Quick start for Bernie Lomax, and Sunny is Not So Funny. Splitting early is Verrazano Fast. Also poking up is Smart Joker. It's not where he really wants to be. And now backs out. So does Verrazano first. So that leaves Sunny is Not So Funny right on the front with Smart Joker trailing second. Third along the fence is Bernie Lomax. Fourth, Verrazano first, who's making good headway on the outside. Last two, Twirling Roses and Coin Purse. They're far back there is Sand Mountain, toiling about 13 lengths out of it. On the front, it's Sunny is Not So Funny. Rail is open for Smart Joker if good enough, and needing that rail. Here comes the gold cap of Bernie Lomax, very wide. The rail parts like the Red Sea for Smart Joker, who's out by 2. On the grandstand side comes Bernie Lomax up for second, fading as Sunny is Not So Funny, and then Verrazano first. It's Smart Joker. Watkins back to back today. Bernie Lomax second. On the move late was Twirling Roses third, and then Sunny is Not So Funny. They truly let anyone in the winner's circle. All grandchildren are welcome, though. Smart Joker off at 9-2, 11-1. That's $11, 440 and 360. Bernie Lomax completes a good exacta, 780 and 420, and the three Twirling Roses got third at $3.60. Moving into the winner's enclosure, number 7 Smart Joker and Alexander Bendezu, co-owned by Dennis Pohl and Stephen Pohl, and many others. Trained by Jimmy Watkins, Smart Joker's a 7-year-old gelded son of Practical Joke out of the Smarty Jones mare, Smarty Bull, bred in Kentucky by Dennis Drazen. The winning time, 5.5, a minute 5 and 1, 105.29. Superfecta, $38.61. Pick 3 for races 2, 3, and 4, $19.70. Race 3 and 4 double, $11.40. Exacta, $34.90. Trifecta, $31.25. And there you have it. The 1 and 2 were scratched from today's 4th. Moving along, race number 5. More donations to Thoroughbred Aftercare. 6 furlongs the distance in the 5th, $20,000 allowance optional claiming race for 3-year-olds and up. Post time coming up in 18 minutes.
15 minutes to post for race number 5. Welcome back, everybody. The start of the late pick 4 here at Fairmount Park on this warm afternoon. Good day of racing. A lot of second-itis for yours truly, but positive side, top 4 horses, paid superfecta. Well, it's something. Let's get right to it. 14 minutes to post for race number 5 as we're looking at a 6 furlongs. Optional 20 non-winners of one other than. These are the opens, so no bonus there for the Illini breds. $1 pick 3, $1 pick 4 in effect. Let's take a look at the runners. Looking at the field, horse right in front of you there, that is the 2, and that is Raven's Ransom. Trainer Larry Ravelli. E.T. Baird aboard. E.T. Did his best to keep that horse from going over the rail in the first race. But we'll see what happens with this one. They've got some speed, but this is also a race, again, a lot of speed in the race. I'm counting 5 of the 8 who will be potential front runners. This horse was a decent second over at Hawthorne. Another one came over by way of New York, over at Aqueduct, and before that was over at Churchill Downs. So they've gone from July at Fairmount Park for Ravelli and was a winner, went up to Churchill Downs, got claimed, changed hands in New York twice, went back to Larry Ravelli, and is a second, third, and a fourth, waiting for that W here. I like the way the horse goes, though. Brisnet Speed Index is top of the race. This horse also is a 4 for 10 at the distance. Like seeing that. Horse looks nice and relaxed here after getting a little hose off. They don't have to have the lead. There's a couple of horses that I think are those types. I mean, Dust Dancer, the one I believe is they have to have the lead type. Kazoom, the 5, have to have the lead type. I think these, maybe even the 8, Sweet La Crema, needs to be up there fighting early. So if that's the case, maybe Raven's Ransom sits just a little bit off him, makes a move around the turn, and hopefully it's good enough. Let's talk about the 6. Here comes Braylon. This is a 5-year-old Liaison, Grandsire Indian Charlie. 4 for 8 hitting the board at the distance. Big number from the Brisnet speed numbers, but most of the horses in here have a good number. 1 win, 2 seconds, and a third. Comes off a win over at Lone Star and was claimed that day by Heather Arian. She brings this one up and gives the reins over to Travis Wales. As I've mentioned before, I think Wales, tremendous veteran rider, sits really well on a horse. And he's doing well with the opportunities he's getting. This horse has had a work here at Fairmount Park, and it was a bullet, 47-3 on July 29th. So I think this is a horse who definitely you can make the case for. And the bettors are thinking the same thing here at 6-5. You can see Heather right there waiting with her horse. Right to the outside is Bureau, Angel Stanley for Fernando Bahina. Last win came against Open Company on April 25th here. Came from off the pace, circled the field, and went by them at the 16th pole. This is the type of horse that's going to need help up front if they're going to get the win. And their pairs on paper, there is a fair amount of speed here. So it could set right up for them. Rounding out the top 40 for yours truly, that is Diamond on Ice. A 5-year-old full horse, son of Brahms. Likes the distance of 6 furlongs. 14 of 17 starts there have hit the board. 4 winners, 6 seconds, 4 thirds. This is another one who will probably appreciate if they get crazy and just go out. I think they'll be forwardly placed, but not necessarily. They could be sitting 3-4 lengths off the pace to make one run for Frank Randazzo. Good luck to Frank. Frank's approaching that number 1,000 as a trainer. So we're all pulling for Frank. The pick 4, I put a $54 ticket together. The funny part is right now, if the horse in the first race didn't try to jump the rail, we'd be alive. But woulda, coulda, shoulda. So we're starting all over again with the late pick 4. We're going to use the 2, 6, and 7, but we're going to put the 2 Ravens Romance on top. So 2, 6, 7, 3, how we sit. Horses getting ready to come out on the track. You start off the $1 pick 4. Good luck.
Field of 8 to the gate for the running of race number 5. It starts the $1 late pick 4. 3-year-olds and up, non-winners of 2 races other than or in for the $20,000 tag. Please note number 4, Good to Be Prince. Adjust the weight to 119. Post time in 5 minutes. You now have 2 minutes. Great catch by Admar Santos aboard his mount there, Kazoom. The field is now headed to the starting gate with a late dollar pick four. Field moving in line. Waiting on Good to Be Prince and Sweet La Crema. They're in the gate. And they're off. Tough beginnings for Kazoom, and here comes Braylon. Out very well together. Sweet La Crema and Good to Be Prince. They vie early. Next, on the inside, Dust Dancer and Raven's Ransom are right together. So 5 of them are going to go as Kazoom meets the top running quartet. Back there in 5th and 6th, respectively, Diamond on Ice nearest us, flanked on the outer by Here Comes Braylon. They are speeding away. And speaking of the closure, it's Bureau who's trailing by about a dozen lengths. Around the turn they go, past the 3/8. It's Dust Dancer on the front with Raven's Ransom, now continuing on with it, looping around. Sweet La Crema has a say. Trapped between is Good to Be Prince. Dropping out are Dust Dancer, and here comes Bureau. Bureau is rolling down the crown of the course, and will head down the stretch late. They're in search of Raven's Ransom, who's had the lead with Sweet La Crema. Stalling out is Good to Be Prince. Bureau continues an extended run, but is no threat to Raven's Ransom, who runs away at 2-1. Raven's Ransom out by 4.5. Beat Sweet La Crema. Good to Be Prince was 3rd, and Bureau was 4th. Raven's Ransom, 2-1 favorite, obliges. 8, Sweet La Crema, 7-2 in second. Long shot, 18-1. Number 4, Good to Be Prince, 3rd. And Bureau at 7-1 completes the superfecta. Into the winner's circle steps number 2, Raven's Ransom, and jockey E.T. Baird. Raven's Ransom, co-owned by Richard Raven and Patricia's Hope LLC. Larry Ravelli, the trainer. Raven's Ransom, 4-year-old gelded son of Spitester. Out of the Tappet mare, raises Ransom. Congratulations to the winning connections. The winning time, 1:11 and 11/100ths. Dollar exact is $17.20. Trifecta $87.45. Race 4 and 5 double, 7 with 2, $39.90. The pick 4, $71.90. The pick 5, almost $3 grand, $2,991.85. Pick 3, $33.30 for races 3, 4, and 5. Again, the dollar early, pick 4, $71.90. Race 6, scratch the 6, retail therapy. Equipment change on the 1, Mary Moonglow. Bar shoe will be worn on the left front hoof. Adjust the weight. Make the weight on the 2, No Pay No Hay, 121 pounds. Those are your changes for the upcoming 6th race to be held in 19 minutes.
Welcome back, everybody, especially those of you watching over on YouTube television. Saturday edition of racing here at Fairmount Park. If you're new to it, I'm Peter Lurie. I am your handicapper du jour. 14 minutes to post for race number 6, final pick 3 of the afternoon. And well, we finally got off the schneid with that win in race number 5. Congratulations out to E.T. Baird with that victory there. I believe that is his first here at Fairmount Park. So congratulations out here with Ravens Ransom getting the W. Turn our attention over to the 6th race on the card. These are 62.50 non-winners of 4 lifetime going a distance of fixed furlongs. These are the ladies, 3-year-olds and upward, and we're ready to roll. So let's get down to the paddock. Taking a look over at the field here for yours truly. I'm taking a big old swing. This might be a little crazy, but I'm taking a big old swing. I like the 5-horse. My Sweet Analyze. 6-year-old daughter of Overanalyze. I just, she's 3 for 13 in the winner's circle at the distance, 6 for 13. There's not a lot here to go with. I think she makes sense. Speed index wise, she's one of the top numbers. And I think she's going to be sitting just off of whoever makes the early lead. That's the big question mark, because there's really not a guaranteed I want the lead type in this race. So they could be sitting off the pace. Javier Tavares might just say, you know what, I'm going for it. Frank Rendazzo, good luck to him. As I mentioned, he's sitting on 999. Whether you're a jockey or trainer, when you get that close to a milestone, sometimes it can take forever. So good luck to him. I'd like to see him get the W in this one, but we'll see how it actually plays itself out. Go to the rail trip. Mary Moonglow. Dino DeZio. Don't know too much about Dino, but he's having a good meet, or I should say a good year, with limited starters. He's hitting at 24%. This horse is a 2 for 4 in the winner's circle at the distance. Comes in from Hawthorne and was an absolute runaway winner last time out, coming off a little bit of freshening July 19th. Now comes over to Fairmount Park for the very first time. Would have preferred to see a work with this one, but I could easily see them getting the W. This is one of those races where in the pick 3, I went 4 deep. I thought very easily anybody could win this race. Move our attention over to the 3, Cooking the Books. Another Jimmy Watkins. I've always been a fan of Cooking the Books. I think I've gotten on board, with the exception of the last race, the previous 3. And he won 2 of them and came in second with his 4-year-old daughter of Outwork. Jimmy looking for his 3rd winner on today's card. Adamir Santos gets the call. So one thing I like about Jimmy Watkins, one of many things, he and Scott Decker, rider-wise, they like to spread it around. And I think that's important. Guys need to pay their bills too. And there's a lot of talented riders, I believe, for this circuit. Cooking the Books, I would not be surprised if they make the lead today. There just isn't anyone who's a guaranteed front runner. And that would be interesting to see. This horse, when he gets involved early, she's got a lot of fight in her. So we'll see if she can get the job done. Like I said, in my pick 4, I used all 3 of the first 3. My pick 3, I'm using 4 of them in the race. So not an easy race at all. Rounding out the group, the 8-horse, Aero Dinero. Now this is a real interesting one for Heather Arion. Another one, as we mentioned, she's been bringing a lot of horses coming in by way of Lone Star and the Sam Houston circuit. This is a 4-year-old daughter of Aeroforce, whose grandsire is Colonel John. Never gone the distance before. It's been just primarily a grass horse. And when she wasn't a grass horse, it was because the races got taken off the grass. So I think that kind of gives you the idea of what we're dealing with here. You really don't know. She did get a work over the track on July 31st. I'm going to assume under Brody Martinez. He takes over on the horse. Brody's having a good year so far. With limited starters, he's hitting at 16%. Horse looks nice and quiet, got the blinkers on, ears poised forward, very aware of what's going on, but looks very, very professional, very relaxed. Like I said, that's definitely what you want to see. This is one that's definitely going to hope somebody gets out there, or multiples get out there and decide to air it out. Probably will be sitting 2 or 3 lengths off the early pace setters. So, not an easy pick 3 to get into. 5-1-3-8, how I see it. Like I said, in the pick 4, second leg, I'm using the 1, 3, and 5, but I'm going to go 1, 3, 5, and 8 in this one. But give me the 5 on top. That's My Sweet Tan Analyze to get the W. Horses coming out on the track. Good luck.
Race number 6, brought to us by the HBPA. Scratch number 6, Retail Therapy. Make the weight on the 2 121 pounds. Bar shoe to be worn on the left front hoof of number 1 Merry Moonglow. This starts the late dollar pick 3. Post time for the 6th race in 7 minutes. 3 minutes. One minute. The field is approaching the starting gate. Field loading in for race 6 and the late dollar pick 3. They're in the gate. And they're off. Good starts on the outside, especially for Grays and Gator, who got the jump on the field. There goes into Golden Road up close. Golden Edge takes over the lead in the opening half a furlong. Next comes Merry Moonglow on the inside, taking over second from No Pay No Hay in third. Now moving up between is Cookin' the Books. Farther back, we have Into Golden Road, and relinquishing the early front, Grays and Gators now on the outside of the track. My Sweet Analyze has a lot of running to do and has one of them beaten, and that is Aero De Niro on debut at this course. They're all in search of Golden Edge by a length. On the outside of Golden Edge, trying to move up, is Cook in the books. Also under the pump is Grays and Gator out in the periphery. Here comes into Golden Road, who's gaining up in the orange cap. Trying to squeeze through is Merry Moonglow. Gave a nice bump to Cook in the books. But here is Golden Edge who runs away. The split coming from No Pay, No Hay. Merry Moonglow is gaining, and here's My Sweet Analyze to go by 'em all. My Sweet Analyze scores. A photo for second and third between Golden Edge and No Pay, No Hay. I think Merry Moonglow is going to be a neck back for fourth. Frank Randazzo Jr., win number 1,000 with My Sweet Analyze. Well done to the crew here at Excel Entertainment at Fairmount Park Casino and Racing. We have multiple riders' objections, more than likely involving the stretch run. So we will hold off on anything. The judges are going to be looking at multiple rider claims of foul. You're looking at into the turn right now, coming out towards the 550-yard pole into the quarter. So the judges are going to be a minute here. So do not discard any tickets. Then the placing judges are also under the gun. They have to discern who ran second and third and fourth. You're seeing exactly what the stewards are looking at. Just to keep you apprised of the many rider objections here, too much to mention right now, and stewards have a lot to think about and a lot to rule. The winner, by the way, will stand 5, 2, 4, and 8. Number 1 was disqualified, and the 8 moved up, Aero de Niro, to 4th. Congratulations again to win number 1,000 to Mr. Frank Randazzo Jr. Ridden by Javier Tavares. My Sweet Analyze is a 6-year-old daughter of Overanalyze out of the Dialed In mare. Netfixer, bred in Kentucky by Watershed Bloodstock LLC. 8 to 5, favorite. Paid $5.40, $3, and $2.40. Congratulations again to winning trainer Frank Randazzo Jr. on win number 1,000. This one's owned by Kathleen Barbeau. Congratulations to the winning connections. $5.40, $3, and $2.40. Race 5 and 6 double, $17.50. There's a good look at the people here. For My Sweet Analyze, it was worth the wait. 10-cent superfecta, $94.93 for the 5, 2, 4, and 8. Pick 3 for races 4, 5, and 6, $18.60. Race number 6, also run in honor of Taff Overton. Taff Overton, a longtime trainer here, much success in the early and mid-90s. The HBPA Trophy Race celebrates Frank Randazzo Jr. and win number 1,000 in his career, and also the career achievements of trainer Taff Overton. Special thanks to Paulette as well. Way to go, Paulette. Great job with the artwork and everything else that you do as well. Race number 7 coming up in 17 minutes.
Welcome back, everybody. Sixth race on the card coming up here, or actually seventh race coming up on the card. 1 mile, these are state bred, optional 20,000. Now winners of 3 other than that $38,500 purse. As I said earlier, congratulations out to Frank Randazzo Jr. getting that 1,000th victory. That is truly a milestone. Well, we got 2 more races left on the card for the late daily double, starting things out here, and looks like they're getting ready down there in the paddock. Still live in the pick 4 and the pick 3. Let's see if we can keep the momentum going. Getting ready to roll as they are in the paddock. That is the 2. It don't come easy. Lines to a song. 4-year-old's son of Galib. I believe it don't come easy. That was a Ringo Starr song. Yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. Easy winner last time out. I do like this horse, and I'm usually someone who doesn't take horses first time versus winners. But I think they won, and they won fairly convincingly, which leads me to believe that this is probably one of those situations where the Ritter and Becker, who also bred this one, decided, you know what? Let's see how good we got before we make any other decision. The horse has never put in a bad race in 3 lifetime starts. I think it makes sense. Breeding-wise, Unbridled Song on the other side of Galib, any given Saturday, I would say a mile shouldn't be a bad spot for them. Looks to be a good spot. I think they're going to be on or near the lead. Chances are, if they want the lead, it's theirs. Now we'll just see if they can go the whole route of distance. Horse looks kind of on the toes, but is not acting up. Groom doing a really nice job there. All right, move our attention to the 4, Earl's Outlaw. Gabe Ratama sends out this 3-year-old son of Tapiture. Breeding suggests this is another one going 2 turns for the first time. It should be in a good spot. Broke the maiden in the slop June 27th, then showed up here on July 18th facing winners and Allowance Company, and actually wasn't a bad race. Definitely wasn't a bad race. Got parked out wide, started from the 8 hole going 6 furlongs. Broke dead last in the start, so had a lot of work to do. So this is a horse who easily could make up time and get in there. I think we'll be sitting in that second flight off the early pace setters. Another one's looking nice and relaxed. Move our attention to the outside. 11-1 on the 10 horse. Raz on Fire for Eddie Essenprice. I mentioned Essenprice had himself a very nice last couple of weeks. And right now is threatening to go up into the Elite 4 of the jockey trainer standings. 4 for 5 hitting the board. A winner, 2 seconds, and a third. Numbers are decent. This is one of the few that actually has experience at the distance. Last time out, after finally getting the win in the 10th try to break the maiden, they tried winners, and they were no match. Got beat 17 lengths. Split the field in a field of 8. But that was a tough one to make a call for. Move our attention over to the 8 horse, rounding out the top 4. Illini Red for trainer Steve Manley. Back in July of last year, broke the maiden going 4.5. Since then, it's been kind of hit and miss. Has yet to win in 4 tries this year. Looked decent in the slop June 27th, but gave up a 2-length lead at the head of the lane. I never like to see that. And then just got tired. Was still 3rd best in a field of 10. Johannes Arengaren looking for the victory aboard this one. Horse draws the outside and has speed, so unfortunately they're going to have to get involved very, very quickly if they get into that first turn. If they're not in good position, they could be swimming upstream for the whole race. So 2, 4, 10, 8 is how I see it. We're using the 2, 4, and the 10 in our pick 4 and our pick 3, but we're going to have the 2. It don't come easy, Ringo Starr fans. Hopefully it gets the W here in race number 7. Horses getting ready to come out on the track. 8 minutes to post. Race number 7. Good luck.
Illinois bred or foaled, 3 years of age and up that have never won 2, or they can be in for the optional $20,000 claiming price. They go the 2-turn mile in race number 7. Time to play the late daily double. The 4, Earl's Outlaw +1. The 8, Illini Red, adjust the weight to 113 +1. Those are your changes for race number 7. Looks like we have a holdup at the gap coming out onto the track. Looks like the rider E.T. Baird aboard number 1, Chow Tommaso, has been tossed and he's limping back to the jocks room. So we'll have further announcements coming up here. So we're under just a bit of a delay. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are indeed within the sound of my voice, please, we have a jockey change on race number 7 on the one horse, Chow Tomaso. Make the rider Javor Simpson on number 1. E.T. Baird will not be able to ride in the 7th race. That's Javor Simpson to ride number 1 here in the 7th. Your changes for the upcoming 7th race to be contested at the 1 mile distance for Illinois breds. Javor Simpson to ride number 1, Chow Tomaso. The 4 is +1. The 8, Illini Red. Adjust the weight to 113, +1. Post time for the 7th race coming up in just about 3 or 4 minutes. You have at least one more minute. They are headed towards the starting gate. Final wagers. Look at the board as far as the most play. Earl's Outlaw 5-2, 9-2 on the 8. Illini Red. Ciao Tommaso 5-1. The 2 at Don't Come Easy 5-1. Moving in Ciao Tommaso and Javor. Chef Ray Wiley goes up. Adam 5-0. It Don't Come Easy. Illini Red moves in. Mike's last call. Wildwood Bell. Ciao Tommaso is making short work of the jockey colony. Ciao Tommaso just tossed Javor Simpson out. And he seems okay. Javor back aboard. Something to believe in, and then dash to the cash. Still activity. Dash to the cash moves in the wide stall. Just about set, not quite in yet. Back door has to be closed on the 11. In the gate. $11 acting up. And they're off. Dash to the cash, didn't get a good start at all. On the middle is Something to Believe In, who has the lead early from Illini Red. They bump because coming on through, It Don't Come Easy to capture the front by the 7 furlong pull. So early on, it's going to be a lonesome leader. It Don't Come Easy by 3. Speeding up into second is Illini Red. Fourth on the far outside, that's third to Wildwood Bell. Running a joint fourth are both Ciao Tommaso and Something to Believe In. Running back in sixth all alone, and on the move is Earl's Outlaw. Next after Earl's Outlaw on the outside is Mike's Last Call. Ask for a little bit more. On that one's inside, trying to gain up a little bit, is Dash to the Cash. Further back there is Raz on Fire. The last horse away is Adam 5-0, and Chef Ray Wiley is in the mix, but is about ninth right now. Down the backstretch run in the half-mile fell in 47-3. Too fast for this group. It's a Don't Come Easy, giving way to Illini Red, who bowls over to the lead. It's Wildwood Bell in third and All In. Here's Something to Believe In, who captures the eye, but is 6 lengths from the front. Earl's Outlaw has a lot of running to do, and Chow Tommaso is dropping back. On the front, Illini Red at 5-1 greets the judges first. 330 yards to go. It's Illini Red out by 5 and moving like a winner. It's Wildwood Bell capturing a minor award, but it's all over. Illini Red is going to give Johanna Sarangarin her second on the day. Going to win by 7.5. Something to Believe In was second. Then it was Wildwood Bell, and Earl's Outlaw was fourth. Number 8, Illini Red 5-1. Number 5, Something to Believe In at 4-1. Number 9, Wildwood Bell 14-1, and number 4, your favorite, Earl's Outlaw at 5-2. Eight, Illini Red paid $13.40, $6.80, and $4.80 across. Something to Believe In second, $5, $3.80. Wildwood Bell, the 9, $9.40 to show. About to move into the winner's enclosure. Winner of the 7th race, number 8, Illini Red, and jockey Johanna Sarangarin, her second. Illini Red is co-owned by the Yates family, Daryl, Evelyn, and Wendell Yates, trained by Steve Manley, 3-year-old gelded son. A homebred victory for Wendell Yates and company, 3-year-old gelded son of Tapiture out of the pioneer of the Nile mare, Une Eclair. The winning time, 1:40 and 2/5 of a second, a minute 40.50. All 11 ran in today's 7th. Pick 3 for races 5, 6, and 7, $71.10. The exacta 8 with 5, $34. Trifecta $136.20. Race 6 and 7 double, 5 with 8, $11.70. 10-cent superfecta, again, $71.90+. Eighth and final race coming up with a field of 10. The bell sounds for more thoroughbred aftercare money. Scratch the 2 in race number 8. So we have a field of 10 sprinting 3/4 of a mile. Illinois bred maiden special weights coming up. 3-year-olds and up next in 18 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. We do have a jockey change in the 8th and final race. Number 11, Citizen X. Make the rider. Johannes Aranguren. Aranguren. The weight is good, 126.
Welcome back, everybody. The 8th and final coming up in approximately 12 minutes. Welcome back, especially for our folks over there on YouTube television. We're looking at, it looks to be a 6 furlongs. These are Illini maiden special weights with that big old juicy purse, $38,000 on the line. Just a reminder, coming up next week will be those final pre-entries for what we are all looking forward to at the end of the month, and that is the running of the 2026 St. Louis Derby. So if you've got a 3-year-old, get involved, folks. It's going to be a very, very exciting afternoon of racing. First things first, scratch in the race of 11, now down to 10. Spartan King will not go. We also have a rider switch on the outside. The 11 horse E.T. Baird was off the last race. He is now off for the rest of the afternoon. Johannes Arengaren will take over on the 11 Citizen X. Let's take a closer look at the runners. Horses in front of you, the 6 currently at 4-1. I thought was a decent price on a first-time starter for Scott Becker. Dandy Ruby, homebred for the Becker-Ritter tandem. This is a 3-year-old son of Centrifuge from that Cherokee wrap mare Dandy Gal. Interesting, the work pattern suggests this horse might be ready to go, but we saw earlier on the day a horse I really liked for them as a first-time starter and just did not pick his feet up. So it'll be interesting to see what if this one does. Came in with a July 24th 48 from the gate best of, and the 50-1 on June 17th. So I like the work pattern for early first-time starters getting the W. Horse seems to be training extremely well. He hands the reins over to Harold Ortega, who makes the most of the opportunities he gets. It looks like the horse is behaving himself. Looking good, ears kind of going back and forth. Tail swishing, but not swishing in a negative way. Just seems to be walking around, assessing what is around them. I think it makes sense. There's the 3 being tacked up, My Last Escapade. This is a horse who has 20 races under the belt already, 9 seconds and 3/3. Coming over from Hawthorne, this will be the Fairmount Park debut. An 0 for 4 at the distance, but 2 seconds knocking on the door. Seems to be a little on tilt, but I don't think anything really to get too worked up about. Michael Slager, the conditioner. 0 for 5, so this is probably his only horse. He owns this one. Might have 2, but I think it's just the 1. See if the 4th time is the charm of 2026 with My Last Escapade. Should be forwardly placed. 4 horses Summer Cyclone. This is the other Becker trainee. Victor Santiago gets the call. Didn't look great in the debut. Showed up 25 days later on June 27th on a sloppy day. Made the lead and then just got tired. If they were dropping in class, I think I would be more excited about this horse. Can they win? Well, of course. A turnaround would help. The work pattern doesn't suggest that this is going to be the race. On the toes, blinkers on. Those are not new. They wore them in the last race. So we'll see what happens. I mean, Victor Santiago and Scott Becker have done very, very well together over the years. And Becker's barn, with 1,000 in the sample of sprints as a whole, 23%. Definitely a number to consider. Move your attention to the 5-horse Storm Attack. Here's another one, 12 starts with 2 seconds to speak of. So looking for the win in a baker's dozen. They've done everything from the maiden special weights against the Illini breds over at Hawthorne. The last 2 races were on the grass. They weren't horrible, but they weren't great. Shane Childers hands the reins over for the first time to Brody Martinez. The horse has been working. I just wish they were working over here. I always prefer to have a horse work on the track that they are racing on. It doesn't matter if it's a huge race, or I should say huge workout, but I do want to see them at least comfortable over that surface. So we'll see how it plays out. Anyway, 6-3-4-5 is how I'm going to see it here in the nightcap. I'm going to stick with the 6 horse. First time starter, Dandy Ruby, even despite the percentage, hoping to get the money right now, 7-2. This race wide open. Money being split between about 7 horses in the field of 10s. That gives you an idea how contentious this 8th race is. Reminder, on Saturday, we have ourselves another really good card coming up, and you'll want to get involved. For everybody here at Excel Entertainment, Keith Nelson with his final race call. I'm Peter Lurie. Have yourself a wonderful evening, and good luck in the nightcap. Good night.
In our 8th and final race, along with the jockey change to Johannes Orangerin on the 11, Citizen X, the blinkers were worn in that last start up at the HAW off the turf at a mile 70 back June 18th. They will be worn again here in race number 8. Blinkers will remain on the 11 in race number 8. Post time coming up in just about 7 minutes. And the same goes with the 3, My Last Escapade for Michael Slager. Number 3 was affixed with blinkers last time out on June 18th up north. Will be wearing blinkers again in this race. Number 3 and 11, blinkers on. In the 8th and final race for Illinois bred or foaled maiden specials. 3 years of age and up, sprinting 6 furlongs, scratch number 2. The 11 gets the riding services of Johannes Orangerin. The weight is good at 126. Blinkers are on the 11, and the same with the 3. My Last Escapade, blinkers are on number 3. Post time for the 8th race coming up shortly. Less than 2 minutes. The field is now headed to the starting gate. Field loading in line now for the 8th and last. Next live race day will be this coming Tuesday at 1:30. 9 per race the average. Hope you can join us. We'll have morningline.io Sprint Series Challenge race number 2 as part of the 8-race card. All behaving very well. Moving up, Will Conquer. Then we'll have Dandy Ruby and Citizen X. Waiting on Dandy Ruby. Illinois-bred maidens just about set. Acting up, Stormy Attack. And they're off. Great start on the outside for Citizen X, who has the jump. There goes Chief Gross, also attentive to the early pace. Among the top running trio or foursome is Position Our Luck is in there. Summer Cyclone is gaining up along the rail, and so Stormy Attack. So as they sort themselves out in the opening half of furlong, inside out, Summer Cyclone right in the between mode is Stormy Attack, and covering that one is the barnmate Chief Gross third. Fourth along the fence is My Last Escapade. Next running fifth, Citizen X. Running 6th. In tight is Dandy Ruby. 7th and motoring up on the outside is Will Conquer. Way back we have No Luck for Position Our Luck, who's passed on the inside by KJ's Ransom, and way back there, Nothing for Position Our Luck. In deep stretch past the 330, it's Summer Cyclone by 2.5. Cruising on up from far back very erratically is KJ's Ransom right in front of Helmo the Great. Deep stretch, Summer Cyclone has it. Summer Cyclone 6-1, a gift. My Last Escapade second, then it was Dandy Ruby third, and Citizen X was fourth. Four, 3, 6, and 11. Final race is now official. Into the winner's circle steps number 4 Summer Cyclone and jockey Victor Santiago. It's a Charles Ritter, Scott Becker, homebred, 3-year-old gelded son of Centrifuge out of the Galib mare, Summer's winner. Trained by Scott Becker, 6-1. Official running time, 1:13 3/5 of a second, 1:13.77. Give you the price rundown. The exacta $17. 10-cent superfecta, $35.57. The late pick 3, $77.60. The late pick 4, that's more like it, $427.80. The late double, $40.50. Trifecta, just shy of $30. And there you have it. Summer Cyclone paid $14, $6.40, and $3.80. We'll do it all again on Tuesday at 1:30. Remember, it's college day. All kinds of free stuff. Grab your friends and come on down to the races a week from today on the 15th. Hope to see you here with your friends. I know it's going to be a busy week next week for many, many folks. Have a great rest of your Saturday, and we'll see you back here Tuesday.